Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Logan Landers, and joining me to do this NFL game preview between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is my guy, my co-host for the Unscripted Sports Podcast, Jay McLovin. What's going on, man?
Hey, we're doing well. Got a lot of good football to talk, and hopefully we can put a Band-Aid on what's going on with these Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, we'll get more into that in a second. Of course, we'll talk about their shortcomings last week and how they can fix those coming into this matchup against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. But before we get started, though, if you guys enjoy this content, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It means the world to us that you guys have been sharing to all your Facebook groups and everywhere else on the internet. It's been absolutely tremendous. Please be sure to go check out our podcast as well, thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. You can go check us out. We have daily uploads, sometimes even more, with game previews, team previews we did before the season's even kicked off, legends interviews, draft stuff, you name it. It is over there on our podcast. So please go check it out anywhere you listen to podcasts, and be sure to give us a rating over there. It would be surely appreciated. All right, Jay, let's do this, man. The Falcons and the Buccaneers. So let's talk about the Falcons first. We do film out of the Atlanta metro area, so let's start things off with the hometown, the Atlanta Falcons. What do you think, man? What can they do to fix the debacle that was last week against the Eagles, and how can they right that ship going in to face the Buccaneers?
Yeah, like we talked about in pregame, the biggest thing we realized was their O-line. Their O-line really didn't give Matt Ryan a whole lot of time back there to really make decisions and do what he needed to do. Mm-hmm. Outside of the offensive line, though, I mean, with the Buccaneers, they really held Zeke down to like around 50 or 60 yards. I mean, they really didn't let Zeke do much of anything, which is terrible because he's on my fantasy team. But so obviously they're going to have to, they got Patterson, I believe it is the running back for the Atlanta Falcons. So they're going to have to limit Patterson and what he can do, which I mean, honestly, y'all don't have really the best running game ever since. I mean, even Gurley wasn't the best when y'all had him.
Right.
So, I mean, the Falcons are coming in wounded. They just took a shellacking from the Eagles. They come in, and I don't know, man. When you're going up against one of the best run defenses in the Tampa Bay Bucs, and they also have a really good pass defense. I mean, you're going to have to really bring the fight to them because they're waiting for it. They're ready to go in there and devour. And honestly, if you thought the Eagles were didn't give him a lot of time, could you imagine what the Tampa Bay front seven is going to do to him? So in order for Atlanta to win, like we said, that their front seven is going to have to basically fend off that, the Tampa front seven. And that's a tall task, given with everything that they've gone through. So Calvin really is going to have to be a bigger part. Definitely Kyle Pitts needs, like we talked about earlier, Kyle Pitts needs to be into the equation, because that's a lot of different short slant passes, things that he can do to get the ball out of his hands quick to his tight ends, and let that man just do what he did at Alabama and let him Florida, and let him do his thing. I'm thinking of Waddle and all them. I don't know why. But just let Kyle Pitts do what Kyle Pitts does, and let him put him out there like a Waller, or put him out there like a Travis Kelce, and let this man run the show, man. Because I tell you, they got a beast on that team, and they have yet to unleash him, Logan.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, you pretty much nailed it. The key for victory, if you're the Falcons, is that offensive line. Poor Matt Ryan just couldn't get any kind of a rhythm going last week with any of his receivers. You mentioned that Kyle Pitts didn't get targeted a whole lot, and that's just because Jay didn't have the most time. He was scrambling for his life, what felt like every single play. And you mentioned it. Coming in, Tampa Bay, there's a reason they're Super Bowl champions. There's a reason that they re-signed every single person from that Super Bowl winning team, especially on that defense.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, if the Eagles looked like they were perennial top-tier defense, just wait until they face the Kings here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be a long day. You got to hope that offensive line has been staying up late, burning the candle, looking at film, just prepping for this tough matchup, man, because Matt Ryan has been consistent his entire career, a veteran, former MVP, got him to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. And, you lost Julio Jones. He's gone. You got Calvin Ridley. You got Kyle Pitts. You got Patterson in the backfield. So he still has some weapons, but you just got to give him some time to work. That's the big thing, Jay, is you got to give Matt Ryan time to work. And because if you give him a few seconds, he'll find an open receiver. He'll find somewhere to throw the ball or even run. He's shown that while he isn't going to be, blazing a trail up and down the field, he can run if you need him to. He can get that first down. So just give him time. And that's the big takeaway, man. That the defense needs to step up too. The secondary got burned so much last week. And that's kind of been the Falcons' biggest kind of weakness the last couple of seasons, Jay, is their secondary and their defense has just not been top tier. And so you got to think that, especially, man, with Tom Brady, who is – there's not even enough words to describe how phenomenal he's been on the football field. And with all the other great weapons the Bucs have, the Falcons secondary and the Falcons O-line are going to be the keys to victory if they want to get this one in the bag and upset the Super Bowl champions from last year. But, guys, we have some exciting news, though, before we move on to the Bucs. We have exciting news. Our podcast is sponsoring with PlayActionPools.com this season to bring some interactive fun to the sport that we love the most. You're going to get in on the action with our PlayActionPools.com Football Pick'em Challenge, which is open to everyone. Here's how it works, though. You sign up for the contest, Believe Football Pick'em, at PlayActionPools.com, and then you get your picks in each week. We're going to select the 10 highest-profile games of the week between the NFL and college football. Whoever gets the most picks correct each week will win a pair of electric sunglasses and some DC shoes. Again, go to PlayActionPools.com and sign up for the contest, Believe, that's BLEAV, Football Pick'em. And if you plan on hosting your own football contest, go to PlayActionPools.com today. They've got Survivor, Pick'em, as well as a cool sportsbook-style concept called Build Your Bankroll. PlayActionPools.com, your new home for all your office sports pools. Jay, it is time, my man. Let's talk about the champs. Reigning Super Bowl champs, led by the GOAT, Tom Brady, some people will say. What do you think, man? How can the Buccaneers get this W after, they had a pretty good game against the Cowboys last week on Thursday? And how can they get this W here against the Atlanta Falcons, their division rivals?
Well, let's see. You know what I always say, the best way to predict the future is to look at the past. And if we look at the past, the last time these two teams met was January 3rd of this year. And basically the Tampa Bay Bucks blew the doors off of this team 44-27. And, if you go into that game further, I mean, you'll see that Tampa basically just has to continue to do what they did. He threw for 399 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Now, he doesn't have great pass efficiency. He went 26 of 41. So, and Matt Ryan went 29 of 44 for 265 and 2. So, with that being said is, they have to, like you said, you have to give Matt Ryan time to throw the ball. Brady's pass rush defense is just stupid good. Ron Jones ran for 78 yards, I think, the last time out. And Antonio Brown, and interestingly enough, last week he went for 121 yards. The last time this team met, he went for 138 yards. So get Antonio Brown doing what Antonio Brown does. Put on your run defense. And then let Tom Brady just do and go to work, picking his team apart piece by piece. And the big thing is I wonder if Gronk will have the same big day that he had last week. I wonder if he'll carry that forward into this week, because Gronk against Dallas was just, he went off. He went off for, I think, a couple of scores, quite a bit of yardage, and had a phenomenal fantasy league football day. And if I was a betting man, I would think that Gronk is probably going to have just as good a day at Atlanta. So I would probably look out for Gronk, too, at that tight end spot, because he is a favorite target of Brady, and they like to link up. So definitely look for Gronk to be in the end zone. Yeah,
I mean, we'll see how this Buccaneers defense can stack up. We all know all the big hitters over there, and obviously we know Tom Brady, what he's able to do with any NFL team he chooses. So it's going to be a tough one, man, if you're a Falcons fan. But if you're the Bucs, just stay the course. I know a lot of people were kind of shocked that it was a close win last week against the Cowboys, but it's week 1, man. Anything can happen. I mean, look, there's a division right now. I think it's the NFC North that is all their teams are 0-1 right now. So they're all tied for first place. So it's week 1. They're going to week 2. going against the Falcons, their division rivals. It's going to be, hey, I'm ready for it. I think if you're the Bucs, like I said, Tom Brady, just do his thing, give him some time, have that defense. I think defense is going to have a field day, Jay, honestly. I think they're going to get a few sacks. They might force Matt to throw the ball a little bit errant and maybe get a pick or two. I'm expecting this Buccaneers defense to kind of show out and stifle this Falcons offense, which, coming into the season, we all thought was going to be putting up a bunch of points, but so far they weren't able to put up much last week against the Eagles, and I don't think they're going to put up a whole lot this week against the Buccaneers. So, Jay, give me your final score for this game here coming up this upcoming week.
Well, let's see here. I think it's definitely going to be a disparaging score for the Falcons. I would look at probably.
It's gonna be
Man, I'm gonna go. I'm still gonna go back with 38 to probably 20, 38, 21, 38, 14. I'm thinking 38, 21.
Okay, a little bit of high scoring affair. Oh man, if I had to go with this one, I got the Bucs winning this. I just think that they're too high powered. I'll have the Bucs getting, I think maybe 35 on the board, something along those lines. And I'll have the Falcons 17. So it's going to be a tough one, man. I just think the Falcons O-line still needs a lot of work. And, this Buccaneers defense is just too powerful. With Tom Brady, too, if you're not pretty much a Super Bowl contending team, it's going to be tough to get a win, or it's going to be tough to compete against this Buccaneers team once again, man. That's just the lay of the land, how it is, man. But yeah, I think the Bucs are going to win this one. And if you're the Falcons, just keep rebuilding, man. You got to keep just your nose to the grind. They'll get a few. They'll get a few wins. They'll definitely get their spirits lifted. But the Eagles, put a whooping on them last week, and I think the Bucs are going to go in there and put up a lot of points as well. But if you're the Falcons, just keep your head up and keep moving on into the next week. Well, that is all the time we have for our show today. For my amazing co-host, Jay McLovin, man, thanks so much for coming on, doing this NFL game preview between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm your producer, Logan Landers. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We go live each and every week on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. Also, if you've not done so already, please check out our podcast. We upload every single day, sometimes even more. Great team previews, game previews, Legends interviews, draft profiles, history specials as well. If you like anything and everything football, we are the destination for you. So please go over there and be sure to give us a nice rating. We upload every single day. Videos range from around 5 to 10 minutes all the way up to about an hour. So we have everything and anything you need for your NFL, college, high school, anything that you have. If you have a football craving, we will have something for you over there. So please go over there and be sure to give us a rating. That would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, for my co-host, Jay McLovin, I've been your producer this evening, Logan Landers. You've been watching the NFL game preview between the Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Until next time, we will talk to you once again. We are 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk.